Hey, what's happening, guys? Thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. Today we're talking about print on demand. I've been talking a little bit about this print on demand Shopify store I set up. Originally was going to fulfill through CustomCat, wound up deciding to fulfill through Printful. Been running it for about a week, and I finally got my first sale that wasn't me buying an item. I bought an item just to test out how the backpacks are. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about how much money I had to spend in ads to drive that sale, as well as how much money I've spent on social media kind of promoting the store. And then also I just kind of wanted to discuss kind of a bigger issue, which is like, what are the benefits of having your own store versus selling on a platform? And is it even worth having your own store? So this is kind of the age-old argument. Like in the past, you'd hear people say, you know, should I sell on eBay, Amazon, or should I set up my own like Shopify or WooCommerce or BigCommerce store? Like, what's better? Now, typically, I feel like it's better owning and controlling your own platform. You know, when we sell on Amazon, Amazon holds all the cards. They can decide to suspend your store. They can raise fees. They can close your account. You don't have access to your customers, so you can't remarket to them. So there's a lot of benefits to having your own standalone store. But in print on demand, I think it's, I don't know, at least to me, it seems like less benefits than with a more traditional e-commerce store. But I guess it really depends. So for me, the benefits of having your own print-on-demand store, or your own print-on-demand, like say Shopify store, for example, is you have a little bit more control over branding. So I can customize the site a little bit more, whereas if I'm selling on Etsy or Redbubble or Amazon, I'm kind of limited to work within the constraints of their platform. I also have a little bit more control over my customers. So on Amazon, I don't have my customers' emails. I don't know who they are. On Shopify, I have my customers' names, email addresses, phone numbers, etc. I can continue to remarket them. So let's say, for example, I'm selling soccer shirts. If somebody buys one soccer shirt, when I come out with a new design, I can send them an email, continue marketing them to them for free, as opposed to having to bring in a whole new customer. And so that's one of the huge benefits of having your own store, is you can kind of control the brand image and kind of what you want the site and kind of the image of your brand to be. And then also you have a closer relationship with your customers than selling on a platform. I think the negatives of having your own print-on-demand store are, it's just a little bit more for you to manage, right? So when I'm selling on Amazon, I put up my listing, and from there I'm done, right? It's hands off. When I have my own Shopify store, I'm having to deal with customer service issues. So if someone says, oh, they folded the shirt before it was dry and the ink kind of stuck, okay, well now I'm gonna have to go ahead and reorder a shirt and have it shipped back out to them, and I'm taking that loss. Whereas, you know, on Amazon, Redbubble, all that stuff is taken care of by them. I have to deal with the payment processing. I have to do the marketing. That's really one of the biggest things, is when you have your own store, you have to drive all the traffic yourself. Whereas when you're on Amazon, when you're on Redbubble, when you're on Etsy, they're bringing you all that free traffic. So when we look at profit margins, I mean, honestly, the profits, in my opinion, aren't that much better selling through this Printful Shopify integration than they are selling through Amazon merch. Amazon merch, I charge $19.95 for my shirts. When a customer buys them, I make $5.38. On my Shopify store, the shirt I sold today sold for, I think the total cost was $28. Like $2.95 of it was for shipping. But, you know, whatever. The customer had to pay $8 more than they would have had to pay for the same exact shirt on Amazon. And as far as my takeaway from that, I think with $12.95 for a Bella Canva shirt plus $5 shipping, so we'll say $13, $14, $15, $16, $17. So we're at $18. So $18 to $28, I made $10. Whereas on Amazon merch, I could have sold the shirt for $8 less and made $5.38. So I guess my profits are a little bit better. I'm squeezing out an extra, I don't know, $2.63. But the customer's having to pay an extra $8. So I mean, from that end, it's not really that much better of a deal. It's a worse deal for my customer, and I'm really not making that much money for charging my customer more. Now, there are some other products that I can get into where the margins are going to be a little bit better. I'm planning on doing tote bags. I have backpacks. I think on the backpacks, I'm going to be making about $15. And so I think that's another one of the benefits, that I have a little bit more products that I can offer. Although if we counter that with Redbubble, like, you throw up one design, and Redbubble puts that on what? Clocks, throw pillows, skirts, dresses, phone cases, tablet cases. So you do have a lot of selection of products on Redbubble. But yeah, I mean, overall, there's really one reason I'm kind of building this Shopify store. If I didn't have this going for me, I don't know that I would be doing it. my girlfriend's uncle owns a really, really popular clothing and apparel store in Chicago, and they've outfitted, you know, there's a couple movies that they've outfitted the movie cast in their gear and things like that. And it's kind of a staple store in Chicago. And my t-shirt store, the niche that it's surrounding, the topic area, is pretty much the same exact thing as his store. So my thinking is that if I build this up to a certain extent, I'm going to try to either partner with him or sell it to him. And the reason I'm going to do that is right now I'm doing print on demand, which means the margins aren't that good. And that's one of the problems that I have with having your own Shopify store if you're doing print on demand. Now, if I grow this to the point where I know I'm consistently selling t-shirts, I would definitely stop doing print on demand. I would order blanks, as opposed to having a base price of like $14 plus $5 for shipping, putting me at about 18 bucks. I could probably order blanks for $2 or $3 of like Bella plus Canva or American Apparel. It might cost me another buck to get those printed. So as opposed to having a base price of $18, I have a base price of like $4. So now I can sell a t-shirt for 20 bucks and make, I guess it would be $16. We'll take away, say, $3 for shipping. But I could sell a t-shirt for under 20 bucks and still walk away with $13. Whereas right now I'm selling t-shirts for $28 and walking away with $8. So I guess that's the one. I would think if you're going to do this, that would be the ultimate goal, to grow it to the point to where you kind of start to get an idea of what colors sell, what sizes sell, and now you can afford to, with not much risk, order blanks and make much better margins. But my thinking with selling the store to him is if I build it up and show I have sales, he's already in the apparel business. They may actually do screen printing in his shop, but if they don't do screen printing in his shop, I'm sure he's got someone down the block that he's kind of partners with. And so I think he would be able to do more with the business than I could, right? Like, I'm just relying on online sales, whereas he has a ton of traffic coming into his store, plus he has a really established online website. And my store could potentially add a lot to his bottom line without him having to go through all the work of rolling out a product line. So I would either sell this store to him outright for a flat fee, or maybe do some type of partnership where he kind of gets to use the brand and we split the profits. But short of me having that potential relationship with him, I don't know that I would be venturing to do this Shopify store. So, you know, you can sell on Etsy, you can sell on Redbubble, Amazon merch completely free. As far as costs for running the Shopify store, going to be $29 a month for the basic Shopify store. And then as far as advertising costs, because you are having to drive your own traffic, I got 4 different Facebook ads running, 2 different sets of images. Those 2 different images also have 2 different sets of text along with them. And I'm kind of testing to see which images are the best at getting impressions and driving sales, as well as which taglines do that as well. So here's the results. We've been running ads for about a week. One campaign spent $24. The second campaign spent $1.18. The third campaign spent $1.36. And the fourth campaign spent $1.58. Oddly enough, the campaign that spent $24 has not resulted in a single conversion or a single sale. The one sale that I got was actually from a campaign that I spent $1.18 on. So basically what I'm going to wind up doing is canceling that $24 campaign, upping the budget on that $1 campaign, and I'll probably let the 2 other campaigns run for another week to see if they resulted in anything. But I mean, at this point, I'm into it for $29. Plus I spent another, we'll say $30 on ads. So essentially I've spent $60 to make $8 thus far. It's too early to really say that this project is a success or a failure. But, you know, thinking about it, I guess it's pretty much on autopilot for the most part, right? Like, the sales come in, they're automatically fulfilled by Printful. Printful automatically updates the customer. So all I'm having to do is kind of, you know, maybe check in on the email every day and make sure I'm not getting any returns or customer inquiries or anything like that. But thus far, it's seeming like it's adding a little bit of work. It's raising the price that my customers have to pay, and it's not putting a whole lot more money into my pocket. Although, like I said, I have, right now I'm doing t-shirts, I'm doing backpacks, I'm doing tote bags, and I'm doing leggings. I might look in and see if there's a couple other products I want to offer, and there's a couple other kind of cheap products, maybe keychains or something like that that I may consider ordering in bulk that would actually be really, really big margins. So too early to kind of call it, but I'd love to hear from you guys, those of you guys who have gone to the effort of setting up your own Shopify t-shirt stores in addition to doing like a Printful or an Amazon Merch or a Redbubble. What's your findings been? Has it been successful? Are you noticing a lot of benefits by having your own store and your own platform as opposed to kind of being reliant on an Etsy or a Redbubble? And that's another thing I'm going to be doing more of. This same brand, the same store. Right now I have a presence on Redbubble. Redbubble sales are actually going really, really well. I think I talked about the other day. I haven't checked on this in about a month, and I logged in and noticed I had like 40 sales. So that kind of proved the concept. I'm going to get the Redbubble store going. And with this same kind of theme, I've had some luck on Etsy. So I think I'm probably going to throw up my whole product catalog on Etsy, set up the Etsy Printful integration, and then run PPC ads, which have worked pretty well for me. So that's kind of my experience with having my own Shopify print-on-demand store about a week in. This project is actually probably more like 2 months old, 2.5 months old, but I kind of started it, ran into a hiccup with CustomCat where I wasn't really happy with the quality, kind of threw it on the back burner, and just within the past week, went back and redid the whole integration with Printful and started running ads. So I'll keep you guys posted on kind of how this is going. But I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. Like, what do you think are the benefits of having your own store as opposed to being on a platform, and what has your experience been? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.